Hi friends, how are you doing today? I am back with another prosthetic review. This is the HP5 hardpacker from Banana Prosthetics. It is 7 inches and it has sensation plugs, which I will tell you more about. Before we start, this is not sponsored, but I do have an affiliate code, so you get 10% off if you use my code, and then that gives me some money. So I guess technically it is sponsored, but everything is my opinion. I'm gonna go through the pros and cons. I'm gonna be honest. You know I wouldn't lie to you, babes. I would not lie to you. I also got some harnesses, but I'm gonna show you them in another video because otherwise this video will be too long, and I wanna do an in-depth review and kind of comparison between the two harnesses. If you're interested, I got the coconut boxer O-ring and then the coconut harness O-ring. This video is a little bit different because I found a willing volunteer to help me review this prosthetic, and they have very kindly said that I can feedback their thoughts as well. It's been through a thorough testing process and I am confident with my review. So like I said, this is the HP5 packer. It's 7 inches and the skin tone is 2 out of 7. There's 7 skin tones. Here is the big boy. He's big. Like that's I've noticed that genitals are kind of darker than skin tone everywhere else, so I thought I would try the darker skin tone. So the point of this prosthetic is that it can give the wearer sensation too. It's got this little hole in the back where you can put a sensation plug, and then that kind of sticks to your anatomy while you're wearing it, and then when you are using it with your partner, it stimulates you. You know what I mean? And this tab can be adhered to your body with like skin safe adhesive. However, I don't get on with that. It doesn't really work with my body, so I just used a harness. Along with the packer, I got gifted these 3 sensation plugs and they fit in the back. I got the vulva, the mouth and the anus, and I have tested all 3 and I will let you know which one I prefer. They just pop in like you got like, I'm sorry about the noise, everyone. And then that is what sucks onto your anatomy. You put the harness on top and then this is ready to go. Okay, so let's start with the pros. I don't know if they like hand carved them or it's all like artist made, or if it's actually molded off real anatomy, because it feels extremely real. Like there are imperfections which make it feel a bit more perfect, if that makes sense. So like there's like this little bulge in the middle, there's some like texture on the flap here, there's like spots almost, and it's like there's just a lot going on, and I just feel like it's very realistic. The skin isn't like fully peeled back, if you can see that, and that I like as well. There's a lot of texture underneath here as well, and I just feel like it's extremely realistic, which I love. I think it would be great if they could add some like detailing to the colors, so like the veins and the skin tones and maybe the head maybe a bit more pink. I've also looked at their other packers and I think everything just looks so realistic, so these are definitely one of the more realistic ones that I've seen. The other pro is that these sensation plugs do feel really good. You kind of have to get your practice in before being with someone else because it can take a while to like get it right. I've also found that these two, the shape doesn't work as well as the anus one, because that one's just round and there's less gaps for air to come in, whereas these ones have like an irregular shape so air could fit in at the sides and then unsuck itself. I'm very aware that my neighbors can hear me. I'm shy. Also, I found that you could just like leave these on and use them as like a toy in itself. So if you don't want to have the whole attachment, you can just use this and, you know, have some fun by yourself. Also, if you want to pump like regularly, but you don't want to deal with the faff of like using the pump, and then sometimes the actual equipment is too bulky and you want to leave it on for like 10-20 minutes while you're doing something in the house. If you want to make yourself look a little bit more impressive before your friend comes over, you can just leave this on yourself while you're doing some things at home or just like waiting for this person, and then because it's like a suction, it can make things a little bit more generous, if you know what I mean. So I tried both the boxer O-ring and the harness O-ring, and I found that the harness O-ring, I really had to adjust it to get the positioning right, but it kind of tended to lean down and then the suction would come off. Whereas with the boxer one, it stayed on a little bit easier. I've noticed this across other products, but the suction tends to work less if there's lube, which is like, feels counterproductive, because you need lube sometimes to keep everything safe, and also people are just naturally lubricated, so if you are someone that is naturally lubricated, then this might fall off a bit, you know. Another pro is that I really like the texture. I think it's nice. It's like you can sort of squish it a little bit. It's not too firm. However, my volunteer partner said that they thought it was a little bit hard for them. So yeah, I would say it's softer than a generic toy that is meant for playing and insertion, but harder than a packer, obviously, because it's got to go in. Oh, I'm trying to be as thorough as possible to give you a good idea on how it is, but I have to be very vulnerable in doing so. You might think that the only positions you can use it in is where you're on top and like thrusting in, but you know, you can feel things if you're on the bottom and just letting the other person do the work too, and that was great. Yeah, so I feel like the suction is a really great addition to these sorts of toys and makes you feel like you're part of it. Like, yeah, it's great to give to someone, but when you're both in it at the same time feeling pleasure, then I feel like it just enhances the experience in general. The thing about the flap is that it's a little bit thick, so I feel like if it was stuck to you, it would maybe be a bit visible and obvious that this was a flap that was stuck onto you, like if you were wearing it at, I don't know, a party or a locker room, which I don't know if you would want to wear this in a locker room just for everyday use, because it would just be like in everyone's face. But it's not as seamless as some of the other ones with flaps that I've seen before. So the main con is that the suction kept coming off, and that's fine when you're with someone that you are really comfortable with, but if this is like your first time with someone, then you might, I don't know, it might make you lose a bit of confidence, or it might like take you out of the mood a little bit. Whether or not we just need more practice with the specific toy, or if it's just something that happens with the toy and you just got to go back and readjust, it's just something you got to play around with and be aware of. I was wondering if it was just me that wasn't getting the placement right and my body, but then I had my volunteer who had a different body to me and they tried it as well and it kept slipping off. So talk about pricing. Also, I'd be super curious to see what it would be like with a vibrating ring on it, because then that would give even more sensation. I need to look into that. The toy itself without the sensation plugs is $190 or £150, but with the sensation plug per one is $20, which is 16 pounds. So you're looking at around £170 or $210. Obviously, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. However, if you went halves with your partner, it wouldn't be too bad. I feel like that is sort of like the average for high quality toys that are both good for the wearer and the receiver. It's hard for me to say it's worth it when I've been gifted it, right? It's a little bit biased. However, if this gives you any idea on how much I like it, I have replaced it with one of my previous ones because the quality is just so much better, and I just think I would use this one way more than the other one. It's a lot nicer texture wise, it is a lot more practical, and also more versatile, literally. What do you think? I'm curious to know about your thoughts. In terms of the harnesses, which I'll show you in another video because they're currently in the wash, I found the boxer harness to be a lot more practical. It just fit my body a bit nicer and I didn't have to adjust, and it just gave me a bit more coverage, which I felt more secure in. However, I know that sometimes when you're in that environment, you kind of just want to have nothing on and just feel the breeze, you know? My partner in crime wore the harness and they found that they had to keep adjusting it. So, however, with the harness, it does come with like adjustable straps, so maybe we just needed to work with that a little more. So that's my review on the HP5 hard packer from Banana Prosthetics. And if you would like a discount on all of their products and to support me with my affiliate code, then you can use the code OCEAN10. Have a browse. There's loads of different products. You can get soft packers, you can get harnesses, you can get magnets, binders, you can get a vibrating stick. There's loads of stuff. You can get breast forms as well, so just have a look on their website and see what you fancy, and if you want a discount code, then I got you, fam. I got you. That's it from me. Let me know if there's any other products that you want me to review, and tell the companies to send me stuff so I can give you in-depth reviews and lose more of my dignity. I'm just kidding. It's a pleasure to lose my dignity for you. Thank you so much for supporting me as always, and I will see you next time. Bye!